My dear students, I welcome you all in the online class of EVS. But before I start, I would like to ask a question to you. Children, if you are on the way to your home and you feel like thirsty, will you drink water from any tap near you? I hope you will not drink water of any tap because it may not be clean or fit for drinking. Our lesson number 13, which we are going to study today, is related to this topic only. Now, I request you all to open page number 88 of your EVS book and be ready to study a very important lesson, drinking water. In this lesson, we are going to study about water cycle, properties of water, purification of water, clean water at home, storing water, water conservation. Water is essential for our life. It is impossible for life to function without water. In nature, water exists in three different forms. It could be solid, liquid, and gas. The solid state includes snow, ice, and glaciers. The liquid state includes river, lake, ponds, stream, ocean. The gaseous state includes water vapor found in the atmosphere. Water is the stuff of life on earth. But where did it come from? There is a continuous movement of water between the land, water bodies, and air. Two processes are involved in this movement of water. They are evaporation and condensation. Evaporation is a process in which water changes into water vapor due to heat. When the weather is very hot, more water is evaporated. Some common examples of evaporation are sweat from our body that dries due to evaporation and wet clothes that dry when hung in the open. Condensation. On cooling, water vapor changes back to water. This process of water vapor changing to water on cooling is called condensation. Condensation is the opposite of evaporation. Some common examples of condensation are drops of water collect inside the lid of a tiffin box which has hot stuff, and when we open our mouth on a winter morning, we can see water vapor coming out of our mouth. Freezing. If the water is cooled further, it changes into ice. The process of water changing to ice on cooling is called freezing. The temperature at which a liquid freezes is called its freezing point. Precipitation. Precipitation is a process in which water falls to earth in any form like rain, snow, or hail. During daytime, the sun heats up the water in rivers and lakes, which slowly changes into water vapor and rises. The water vapor cools down and changes into tiny droplets that form clouds. As clouds become heavy, they cannot hold any more water droplets and fall on the earth as rain. This process continues and water is circulated in nature. Properties of water. Now we are going to understand the different properties of water through some experiments. Experiment number 1. Take a plastic bottle, a balloon, and 2 bowls. One filled with some hot water and other with ice. Cover the mouth of the plastic bottle with a balloon and place the bottle in a bowl of hot water. Let the bottle stay in hot water for some time. Now take the bottle out and place it in the bowl filled with ice. Now children, you will see that when the bottle is kept in the warm water, the air inside the bottle becomes hot. The hot air expands and starts moving upward into the balloon, causing it to inflate. However, when the same bottle is put in ice, the hot air inside the bottle cools down, moves downwards and deflates the balloon. Experiment number 2. In this experiment, you have to take the help of any elder member of your family. Tell them to boil water in a kettle. Now, watch the spout of the kettle. You will see steam coming out of the spout. Now hold a plate in front of the spout. Droplets of water will start forming on the plate. As a conclusion, we can say that when the steam or water vapor from the spout touches the cold plate, it cools to form water again and gathers on the plate in the form of droplets of water. Experiment number 3. In this experiment, you have to fill an ice tray with water and keep it in the freezer. Take the tray out after 4 to 5 hours. What you will see, children? The water in the ice tray would have frozen to become ice. Now keep this tray out on a table for some time. After some time, as it is warmer outside, then in the freezer the ice melts to become water. Experiment number 4. In this experiment, you have to take 2 wet identical handkerchiefs. You have to place one handkerchief in an airtight plastic bag. Keep the other handkerchief out in the open. Now hang both the handkerchief on a clothesline in sun for some time. You will see that the exposed cloth dry due to the heat from the sun, while the one sealed inside the bag remained moist as it was not exposed to the sun and air. Purification of water. Water purification is the process of removing germs and other impurities from water to make it fit for drinking. Children, we have learned that the earth's surface is mostly covered in water, but water from natural sources is not safe for drinking. Rainwater cannot be consumed as it has many dissolved gases, dust particles and germs in it. Water fit for drinking purpose is called potable water. Every city has a water purification plant. Water from different water bodies like rivers is brought here for filtration. Several steps are followed to purify water. Now children, we are going to study about the different steps which are followed to purify water. Sedimentation. In this step, water is collected in a tank and is left undisturbed for few hours. Dirt, mud and sand settle down at the bottom of the tank. This layer formed at the bottom is known as sediment and the process is called sedimentation. Through this method, dirt, mud and sand present in water is removed. Decantation. Decantation is the process of pouring out of upper clear layer of liquid into another container to separate two immiscible liquids. Filtration. Filtration is the process of separating insoluble impurities from a solution. When a solution is passed through a filter, particles with pore size bigger than that of the filter are retained, while others pass through. Chlorination. It is the process of adding chlorine to water. This method is used to kill bacteria, viruses, and other harmful germs present in water. This way, water becomes free of both dust and germs. This purified water is then supplied to houses. We get this water in our taps through pipelines. These water pipelines need regular maintenance as the pipes often develop leakage, which makes water unsafe for drinking. We suffer from some diseases when we consume contaminated water. Drinking water that is not clean might cause diseases like diarrhea, dysentery, and cholera. Clean water at home. We can make tap water safe for drinking by boiling, using filters, or by adding chemicals. Boiling is the best method to kill germs present in water. Boil water for 10 to 15 minutes, cool it, and then store it for use. Using filters. Water filters are used to remove impurities from tap water. RO is the modern technology of water filtration. Adding chemicals. Adding chlorine tablets and potassium permanganate to water also make it safe for drinking. The proportion of water and the chemicals should be correct. Desalination. Desalination is the process of removing salt from seawater. Seawater is desalinated to make it fit and safe to drink. When the seawater evaporates due to sun's heat, salt deposits are left behind. The water droplets, which are formed through condensation, are salt-free and are stored for drinking. Storing water. We should store and handle water with care. Water is stored in different types of containers. These containers are made of different materials. Water stored in containers, vessels, or bottles should be covered and kept clean. Water should be stored carefully so that water does not become unfit for drinking. We should follow some steps to keep drinking water clean. First, water should never be stored for many days. Containers that are used for water storage should be cleaned regularly. A lid should be used to cover the water container. A ladle should be used to take out water from a container. Now we are going to study about the storage of water in large amount. Sometimes when there is insufficient rainfall, we need to store large amount of water. Since we do not get rain throughout the year, we need to store water in dams, reservoirs, tanks, and canals. Dams are walls built across rivers to block or control the flow of water in rivers. Dams are also used for generating electricity. The Bhakra Nangal Dam on the river Satluj is one of the highest dams in India. Reservoir. A reservoir, which is a lake that is used for storing water, before it supplied to people. It is released when the level of the water in the rivers decreases. Canals. Canals are dug as channels to divert water from rivers to agricultural fields for irrigation purpose. Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is a method of storing and collecting rainwater. This water can be used whenever required. Water conservation. With an increase in population, the demand for water has increased. Fresh water is available to us is a limited quantity. So we should use water carefully. The careful use of water is known as water conservation. All of us should do our bit to conserve water and keep it clean. Some of the ways of conserving water are: first, repair any leaks in and around taps. Second, use limited amount of water to wash clothes. Third, use a bucket of water instead of a hose pipe to clean vehicles. Next, water plant early in the morning or late in the evening to cut down the loss of water through evaporation. Store water in buckets and use it for different purposes. We can store rainwater also for cleaning purposes. We can save water in the bathroom by following these steps. Turn off tap while brushing teeth. Take shorter bath. Turn off tap while applying soap. Turn off tap after each use. Don't flush tissue paper or waste into the toilet. There is an activity for you children. You have to think about this question and write the answer of this question in your rough copy. 70% of the earth's surface is covered with water, yet we are worried about water shortage. Why do you think this is? As I told you, most of the earth's surface is covered in water. Still, we are worried about water shortage. Why? Think and write the answer of this question in your rough copy. At last, I would like to tell you children, water is very important for our life. We cannot live without water. If there will be no water, there will be no life. So, conserve water. Don't waste it. Thank you, students.